Bouyon! That's like a sauce. Hey, Pepe!
Get pain relief fast with Frances Rub.
When the days get tough, rub it. Having back pains, rub it. The dog not well, rub it. COVID on you, rub it. If you have 4AD, rub it. For proper circulation, rub it. Stroke have you on a side, rub it. For all problems in life, rub it with Frances Rub. Or call 713-4162 or 489-3421. Nothing beats a good old Frances Rub. Located in the Vendors Arcade, booth 27B.
And now in VA4 on Duraney Street next to the post office.
With all the wonders in the world, St. Lucia's only meant for me. So much history to be told and so much more for eyes to see. The colors feel the love, I can tell you all the way. Proud of it, proud of it, proud of it, proud of it. It don't matter where I voyage, it don't matter where I roam. Majestic we don't stand.
DJ Shows and Momo present Sunrise to Summer. Sunrise to Summer. Most anticipated event for the summer. It goes down Saturday, June 27th at Legends Place, 495 East and 95th Street. Get ready for the Total Destruction crew. DJ Kev, Top of the Line family, DJ Young G, and the birthday boy coming through. The Simpler X, live and direct out of Vinci. Tickets are only $20. You pay more at the door. With drinks on sale and food on the house. Saturday, June 27th, Sunrise to Summer. New York, get ready. This is gonna be a movie.
On Saturday, May 30th, Brooklyn, get ready for a night you will not forget. As Dr. Ghost, The Empire Dawn presents reggae legend Dwayne Stevenson live in concert.
Word from the wise, don't try to make life on your own.
Dwayne Stevenson.
From a little cottage in your dream.
Sean B from St. Lucia.
Something gripping, please don't let me go.
Alongside TD Bang. Doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime 10 p.m. sharp. And it's going down inside the St. Lucian House, 438 East 49th Street, between Church and Snyder. With music by DJ Bashi, Selector Akal, DJ Sci-Fi, DJ GQ, and Earthquake Sounds. Hosted by Jessica Movements. Brooklyn is gonna be one memorable night. Performing live, Dwayne Stevenson. Tickets cost $70 in advance, $100 at the door. Ticket info, contact Moses on 347-701-6046. That's 347-701-6046. Sponsored by 106.3 FM, New York City. Lock in the date, Saturday, May 30th. Reggae legend Dwayne Stevenson live.
Doing it too bad. Oh, I never lived like you wanted. Yes, I was mindful of what you taught me. Blessed love, this is Duraney Stevens from Augustown. New York massive, St. Lucian massive. And I will be coming to you. So me I say, St. Lucia House is the place between Church and Snyder. The 30th of May, remember, Duraney Stevenson concert. Live, and it is brought to you by Dr. Ghost and the Empire Done. So me I say, so lock in, rope in. I'm Mr. Ropin, cause this a session I go vital. I watch out. Cool runnings. Yeah, rocking is what I say. The church at me. Remember that.
Shh. Do you hear that rumbling? That's not thunder. That's the Hurricane Hole Ray of Sunshine. It's $50 all-inclusive barbecue happening Saturday, July 12th, 193 Vernon Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, from 5 to 10 p.m. 5 hours of straight Category 5 thunderous vibes. Food flowing, drinks flowing, vibes turn all the way up. Musically, shutting the place down. DJ Speedometer.
Yeah, talk to me now.
And DJ Bashi. From old school classics to dancehall beat to soca madness to the tunes that make you wanna bust the wine till sunset. This is not a sit-down event. This is a bring your big energy kind of line. So rally the crew and enter the hole. The Hurricane Hole Ray of Sunshine, July 12th, 193 Vernon Avenue.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bouyon, another exciting one down for you guys. Don't forget you're tuned to Watch Radio, and of course, this is the Bouyon Talk Show. I am your host, Peter D, and tonight we have a very special guest joining us. Someone who has made an impact both inside and outside the classroom, while also building a growing presence in the world of social media and entertainment. Our guest tonight is a proud son of Atkinson Dominica, a dedicated primary school teacher for the past 14 years, an active content creator. Please help me and welcome Duraney. Duraney, good night to you, my brother. Good night and welcome to our Bouyon Talk Show. You know, I am so pleased and so proud to have you here tonight with us, my brother. You are making wave not just on the social media scene, but also in the classroom. And I want to say to persons, whether you're viewing us from Dominica, from St. Lucia, New York, the Caribbean, anywhere in the world, we want to thank you for joining us. We want to tell you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the vibe, because tonight it's going to be a great discussion with an amazing young man who's, again, not only a social media person, but he's also a teacher. So, my brother, let me allow you to introduce yourself, son of the soil of Dominica. Talk to us a little bit, man. Tell us something about yourself, my brother.
All right, well, good night to you as well. And I just want to say thanks for inviting me, making me part of your show. About myself, my name is Durand, of course. I'm from Dominica, from the wonderful village of Atkinson. So that's the village I was born and raised, my whole life. And I must say it's been a struggle, because as they say, I didn't born it. When they say you didn't born it for silver spoon, yeah. So I mean, I came from a struggling family. I was my parents were quite strict. They grew me up to understand that, when you come from humble beginnings, you have to work hard. Education was our foundation. And that was quite critical when it came with my parents, especially my mother. So she was the backbone. She has been the structure, the whole building when it comes to me and the person that I am today. So there's a lot more, but I'll just stop there.
I could imagine, man. Let me ask you, when your friends look at you, give me one word that they use to describe you, man. One word that your friends use to describe you.
It's quite funny because right now, with all the content and the comedian kind of vibes, most persons when they see me, the first thing they will call me is Mongrel.
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but if it comes to being quite serious, I would say ambitious. I would say that's a word they would select to describe the kind of person I am. And I could go more into detail, but I don't wanna. Yeah.
I got you, man. And let me tell you, detail is always good. So feel free if you want to really get into it. We good with that. Don't forget, we're an interactive show. This is, of course, the Bouyon Talk Show. You tune to Watch Radio NYC, and I want to say good night to everybody who've joined us thus far. I see we have, I think we had about 800 people viewing right now. So I want to say thank you, guys. I want to also say to individuals, we will not see you if you do not say anything. We know that you're there, but unless you comment, unless you say hello, we will not see you. So Julita Dover, I want to say good night to you. Chelsea, my niece, I see you. I want to say good night. Sabina D, I see you as well. I want to say good night to you. And my brother, you've been involved in primary school education. You've been a teacher for the past 14 years, shaping and molding the minds of our young people. Did you always know that teaching was your calling?
First of all, I'm quite an honest person. uh, I would try to be as honest. I mean, certain times you may try to radical lie and whatnot, but I wouldn't say it was my calling. I say it started off when, well, after finishing high school, you're trying to get something to do. In the meantime, before, furthering yourself, because, from the family background that I came from. And then being a community person, I kind of I was selected to do substitute teaching. So I would, like, certain times teachers were not there. The principal would call me because I speak to everyone, and just coming out from high school, I was fresh and stuff. So that was when I kind of got roped in, and after that, a teacher left, and she went to another school, and it just happened. It's like it just happened, and they recommended me, and then I went through the whole interview and all those things, and then I just ended up being a teacher. And I mean, calling is one thing, and doing what you have to do is another. It was an opportunity, it was a job opportunity, and I took it and I gave it my best. As it says, 14 years now.
Yeah, so talking about that 14 years, for you, I know it's something that happened, and you grabbed the opportunity and you took it, and now you've been doing it, or you've been at it for 14 years. What is the most rewarding part of being a teacher?
I would say seeing my students move from A to B. Because I mean, we all know that students have different abilities. You may have some fast learners, some slow learners, but nevertheless, it is very pleasing and comforting to see that a student that was at A moved to B. Some may move from A to D, the faster ones.
Right.
But I mean, just knowing that you did something, you have shown some improvement in the lives of the students when they come to your classroom. I think that is the most amazing thing, and it's a wonderful feeling to know that you have not wasted their time, and this is quite important. So I would say seeing them move up from where they were, yeah, that would be the most rewarding thing.
I got you. And let me ask you, because there's a question, a burning question I want to ask, but I need to ask that question before, and it pertains to your student, but I want to ask that question before. What inspired you to step into the world of social media, influencing, and also content creation?
Okay. Normally I smile when I and I laugh when I answer this, because some persons would think like, it's really that caused you to do that. But be honest, normally after work, I would have a farm, right? I mean, I have a lot of land and them kind of things. So from there I would switch, I'd switch into farmer mode. I'd do my little things and sell, make my extra money, that kind of a vibes. Now, in Dominica, we have something called biting midges. It's a very tiny insect, and it's also in St. Lucia and other countries that I've visited. And now, because of that, and my skin being extremely sensitive to it, it kind of limited me. My whole life kind of changed. So it's like being to several doctors and stuff, and all of them were like, is either I leave and go somewhere different, or I just avoid them as much as I can. And that was where I made the decision to be inside most of the times I'm inside. If I have to go outside, I would have to spray myself and all them kinds of things there because it would they devour me. So from there, I became very idle. Because being inside and them kind of a things. So I started venturing into the social media kind of thing. Working with my mental health because my whole life changed. So I had to find certain things to keep my mind, going and stuff. And I ended up on, venturing into that aspect. And I started doing a few videos and stuff. And then, to be quite honest, when I landed on Dino Chats, when I landed on
I was
Dino
finished with
Chats,
that.
it was like a boom. It
Right.
was like a boom, and St. Lucians kind of just grasped that, and they just, they just put me on top and them kind of a things there. And I appreciate them a lot. I love them a lot. I was there last year, and it was a
Right.
lot of love. I got a lot of support. I got a lot of hugs. I got a lot of them kind of a thing there. So I would say it stemmed from there, and then I was like, okay. And then I started doing more. Then I started doing other things, and I kind of grew on them kind of thing. But more into the comedy part. I don't know people generally. At the end of the day, you come out from work. Things are, how work can be stressful. Them
Yeah.
kind of, it could be not only work, but it could be relationship. It could be some family issue. And then you come home and person will tell me when I go to look for you. I go to look for it. It's like people like stupidness. I have to
Yeah.
say, people like stupidness, people like nonsense. I think me too. You go on social media and you see this kind of crazy stuff people do, and you just laugh and you kicks and it's therapy, it's
Yeah.
mental health and them kind of things there. So
I,
so
I
yeah,
I love the fact that you alluded to mental health because that is so important now because
extremely.
so many things are happening in the world. I think your mental health is extremely important. Sabina just said, uh, I love Durani. Links with the Caribbean, especially St. Lucia, always screams of laughter, especially Diana videos. And you just spoke about Diana Charleston and all her good and all her stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give them my
Um,
thanks, one love. Yeah.
one love, one love. So the question I wanted to ask you, because I spoke about what's most rewarding to you as a teacher, right?
Mhm.
But then I wanted to ask you about your students. How do your students feel about their teacher being a social media influencer? Being that guy that's I mentioned your name to somebody when I was coming to the studio. They say, "Who's your guest today?" And I mentioned your name, and they say, "Oh, wow, I'm gonna tune in." I'm like, "Really?" You're like, you know what I mean? So again, how your students accept you and the fact that the teacher is a social media personality?
I mean, students, children now, are not like before, right? Children now are more exposed to everything. Certain things that before parents used to hide from them, that's all on social media now. TikTok, there is hardly anything that my students don't know. Because I'll speak to them, especially during HFLE, and they're quite open. They would speak to me in detail, certain things that they, and you just be like, really? I'll just be
Yeah,
like, really, you guys are just on another level. So to me, it's like, for the within the past years, I've just learned to be open with my students. So being that and with them already being open and exposed, they will be like, so I saw your video, I saw this, I saw that, but there would be a few times I would have to be like, hey, just chill. Like sometimes they just bring it up during class. Certain things, maybe conversations would come up, and then that would come up. That video might click somewhere, might come up. Um, but I maintain respect. That's
yeah,
one thing I
yeah,
enforce in my classroom, where we have our times there's some laughter. We may talk about my videos and whatever and stuff, but I maintain respect, and I think with that they have looked at it differently. They know they have to respect me,
yeah.
and then we keep it cool. Other students maybe from other schools, maybe that they maybe be with their mom or their dads or their teacher, and they'll point out and say, "Look the TikTok guy, look the TikTok guy."
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but to say like have a negative thing, I think generally they understand and they know it makes them laugh. It's very funny and them kind of a thing. So it's not to say I'm out on social media, cursing people and them kind of a thing. Although
Yeah.
some of my content can be a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. You said a good thing there that kids are so exposed. And I remember watching one of your videos where you kind of came down on parents a bit, like saying like I don't know if somebody was saying that there should not be something on social media, that person should not post this or that. And then you said to them, you need to be mindful and watch what your kids look at on social media.
Yeah,
When it
very
comes
much.
to parenting, what advice would you give to parents when it comes to parenting on social media in terms of the access that they allow the kids to have?
Well, access is one thing because because some parents may have their thing towards maybe my videos, but I'm telling you, there are things out there on social media that children are seeing that are 20 times worse than maybe the little content that I'm creating. 20 times worse. And I'm telling you, they have seen it, they are exposed to it, you know? So, a lot of the time parents would just, they want to maybe do laundry or whatever, and they'll just give their child a tablet and, they turn their back and they go. Children, sorry, I have the tendency of students. Children will take the opportunity, and sometimes when you're watching certain videos and you see a site thing pops up, and you can just click that there, and it goes to those kind of outrageous things, if you know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that are worse, and I won't even go into the detail of it. So at the same time, I can understand from a parent perspective. Yes, you may have certain things you want to do and you want to keep your child engaged, but at the same time you are exposing your child to so many things. And with that now, we as teachers, we have to just be open. We have to be open to students. There's no more hiding anymore with students. Children, even from grade K, they are already exposed and they already know about what man and woman doing and all these kind of things. They know
Yeah.
about the things.
Yeah.
You just have to start a conversation and they just start belching out everything. And you just be amazed. So I think the best thing right now is to just be open with children right now and talk to them. And I think that works a lot. I think that's what they want to. They want a friend. Yeah, you may have to be strict sometimes, but the more you can be open, they'll be more comfortable with you, and things tend to flow a bit better than then you just have a strict thing. Like growing up, parents before used to, you escape, there's a blows on you, that this, and it made you want to go out more. It made people do more crazy things because they are just so stuck in a home and them kind of things, rather than you just saying, okay, mom, I want to go out with some of my friends, and okay, is there an adult about? Okay, you can maybe go by the field, whatever, you can do certain things, and then the child feels more comfortable with you, that rather than you just have them just close up and so strict, but yeah, I can go a bit more, but I try not to. Yeah.
You're telling parents to wait out. Don't just be too strict, but don't just let them go either, right?
Yes,
So
I
you
mean,
have
there are
to
times you have to
find
put on your
that
foot.
right balance.
Yes, and there are times you just have to open with them and talk to them. Like just have a conversation.
I totally agree. Durand,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your platform. And have you ever used your platform to inspire and mentor young persons? And do you ever see yourself, maybe even in the future, doing something like that? Because you have a big presence, and do you think of ever using it to do that?
I've made some videos that would fall under that category in terms of you know encouraging persons in terms of like just daily life things, dealing with ups and downs, dealing with negative people, dealing with financial problems. Like sometimes I would talk about like you know um in Dominica. Well, I mean, I'm just talking, I think generally too. I mean, you have a fixed job, like I have my teaching job, but it's like you can't depend on one source of income. You have to find some other ways of making money. And that is what I've been doing from since I know myself. So I moved from the farming part. I'm like, my dad took that over and I had to find something else. And the brain had to start working. I'm like telling it, partner, you need to find other things. And that's why I started doing plants, not house plants, but exotic plants.
Yeah.
And then I moved into house plants because I realized there was more of a demand for house plants. People, well, you might not be a plant person. I'm a plant person. And the thrill and I've experienced with people when they see certain plants and they like, it's like a drug, you know.
Yeah.
It's like people get drunk on that, and it's quite amazing going at some person's homes and you just see a forest. But anyway, not straying too much. So that's a kind of a thing, and I encourage persons, to do certain things. But I again, it comes with time because working from doing a normal job from 9 to 4, I only have a short space of time before it gets dark. So and even over the weekends I do have my normal chores and all those kind of thing. So my one of my time, but I'm open. I'm open minded to using my platform to really get maybe into maybe doing maybe like a show like yours one
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
to inspire persons
You
and
know,
as you say.
you should talk
Yeah,
to me. We give you a platform, man.
but I always tell persons, to work hard, and I that is where I'm stopping. And you see the multiple income to me, because me, I like money. I mean, I don't love it, but I mean, who doesn't like money?
Yeah,
And
true.
to me, that has always been my biggest goal, is to find things. And so I will more advise people in finding ways to make money, do a business there. Okay, this is an idea you could try this. But that's more my thing for now. I mean, as time goes by, you never know what can happen.
Right, right. Totally, totally agree. But let me ask, do you think that teachers today need to connect with students on a different level than they did before? Because I know you talk about students being more open now, they're more into different things now than
Mhm.
they were before. So do you think teachers need to use a different strategy in terms of connecting with their students now?
Yes, completely. And I think I'm one of those that are quite open. I can remember an experience with a particular student I had. Well, I was teaching that grade, those students for 3 years. I went up with them from grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. And the parent had an issue with their child as to certain things that they suspected happening at home. And I sat up the parent. The information I gave the parent,
Wow.
she was shocked. She was shocked to know that her child had all of that information, that knowledge, and these practices going on. But the funny thing is that when you develop a relationship with your student, they open up to you. So I told her that, they are growing, they are developing. So there are certain things you just have to be open with them, like you're talking to them like a friend, because they look at you like, "Hey, if I tell you that, you might want to beat me, you might want to things." So children tend to close, they tend to go in a box rather than wanting to just be completely open with you because of the information that they are being exposed to on a daily basis. So yeah.
Yeah, and that is true. So you definitely kind of take a different approach. Sometimes you have to be a
Mhm.
little more open to speak with them and stuff like that. So I
Yeah, and
totally
then when you establish that, you can tell them certain things, and they'll be like, "Okay, so okay, because they look at you like you understand me, we understand each other, but yes, you are still my teacher. You still want better for me. I still have to have a certain way things that I should and should not do, and if I get to do certain things, how I should do it and whatever, because we are human beings. At the end of the day, children, yeah, we may not want them to engage in certain things at a particular age, but it's quite surprising that quite a few of them have already been engaged in certain things already that
Right.
parents might not be even aware of. And we, the teachers, get to see that side because they look at, students are like, it's my teacher, my teacher, my teacher. So they have a kind of a bond with their teacher, and that is where all of that come in, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally, totally. So they can connect, and sometimes they could share certain things they ordinarily would not share with persons with the teacher, and the teacher aware of
Exactly.
certain things that are going on, and even things that are bothering them as well. Let's talk a little bit about your content creation, your social media vibe. Because social media can be very exciting. Being on, you have that hype about it, but also very challenging, right? What has been your hardest, like the hardest part of being a content creator?
Um, well, I won't say surprisingly, I think when it comes to my personal life, because persons, it was my choice anyway, but I started off and I started doing them things, and right now it's like everywhere I go, persons see me.
You can't hide,
So
right?
things I used to do before in public,
Yeah, yeah,
I may have to try to do it differently, or maybe just don't do it at all, because people, you'd be surprised where persons would meet you and be like, Jerry, I'm like, okay, I'm in my bad behavior. So like my little privacy, my little personal life, how I normally used to, be more free up and stuff. I had to adjust certain things because you never know who's out there trying to maybe want to bring me down. They might want to maybe do a video clip of me. Oh, look, I meet him there doing whatever, whatever. Them kind of thing. So it made me a bit more careful. Although sometimes I have a free mind, and I'd be like, how we just say that way, you know,
halfway.
that way that, because I say,
Like you don't care.
persons also need to understand that, yeah, I doing all those things, I get in a little, people starting to know me and stuff, but I do have my personal life. I do party, I do mostly everything that normal people do, and persons need to understand that and don't look at me like, oh, he drinking rum there, and look at him, he high. You say,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
mean, it happens to all of us, well, most persons,
yeah.
so that has been my biggest challenge in that area, but it's a learning process. It's something that I'm working on. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. And I understand perfectly what you're saying, because once you become like a public figure out there, people know you,
Mhm.
then now much is expected of you. So now you have
Yeah.
to be careful. You have to, some of the things you do, you probably want to do them more in private as opposed to doing them openly. Because then
Yes. Exactly.
you'll give people things to talk about, right? Because if somebody sees you running down the road, if you're not who you are, if somebody say you're running down the road naked, they'll say, mate, mad. Now, if they see you running down the road, they're taking a video, now they're posting that because they
That's it.
say,
I
look, Durand going back.
Well, fini, but
You know what I'm saying? So we have to
so
be
so yeah.
we have to be careful, and I totally agree with that.
Mhm.
Let me ask, how have you ever gone viral? Or tell me a moment in social media that has really just shocked you.
Viral, I would say a lot of my videos go viral. In terms of shocking, it would be like certain videos I would post. I would maybe not expect it to get that amount of views. Like, let's say I would maybe normally expect a 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 views. Sometimes the views would go up to all 300,000, all 400,000, all 500,000. And that would be my little shock. I'd be like, hey, and
Yeah.
it would just puzzle me as to, what of that video. And I think it's connecting. You see the Caribbean thing, it's connecting, and I think that's something I'm working on. Well, I've been working on it, but a bit more to connect with different countries, like do content from different countries, not just Dominica, St. Lucia, like go out, do something far where they can say, okay, this is from Barbados. Look, Barbados people gonna say, hey, he did that so well, and I might get, so I'm trying. I think that is where I need to expand, and I realize certain certain contents that I have created because it's Caribbean based. A lot of people watch it because we grew up in the Caribbean. Everybody like, hey, and them kind of vibes.
All right. So put me in your mindset. Put us in your mindset. How do you deal with criticism or even negative vibe on social media? Because that will come if it hasn't.
Oh yes, it has. It has. But initially I used to respond honestly because I have a little in me. I mean, is that does make me do some of those crazy things? Those videos. I mean, that's how we say it here. You have limit. But I used to respond, and then I learned. I was like, you know what, that's not making sense because these things are gonna come. You're just throwing fuel in fire. So I simply, and I would tell people that I would post about it, and I say, let me tell you something. I am not going to tolerate it. I will simply delete and block. And that has been for the going on 3 years now. Before that, I used to do my little thing, but right now, like I see some stupid comment, I just delete and I block you. I finish with you. So that just filtered most of those negative persons that would often want to come and make their nonsense. Because I mean that's something that I just learned that it will come. No matter who you are in the world, you will get a backlash. And I know I will have some obstacles, I will have some bridges to cross as time goes by. Because I mean, I will fall short. There are times we will fall short. I think, and I've seen it with social media influencers. I've seen it with people in different positions, people are public figures. I've seen they get their falls, and that is something that I have prepared mentally to say, okay, look, I get a backlash there, some video of me go viral, whatever, and I'll be like, okay, cool, it's my time, and I work at it, and I come up and I put myself back on my 2 feet, so that's my mentality. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, my brother, I think that's the best because we are not perfect individuals. We will fall short. There'll be times we may do something that somebody got a glimpse of or got air of, and then they will be after us because the idea is to take you down.
Yes,
and we should never let these people get to us. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm leaving room for it because I know there are some persons out there who don't like me. I know that. Everybody, we all have our haters. There's some people they don't like you, and they don't even know why they don't like you.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving room for that, honestly. So if you see maybe something of me one of those days, just say, okay, look, Duraney said it happened.
Right?
Yes.
And that will happen. I want to just say to everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us. Ron, I see you, my brother. I want to say good night to you. I want to say good night to everybody who have joined us. We have quite a few people on. But again, we wouldn't know if you're on unless you say hi. We're going to take a short commercial break, but we will be right back. We ask you, do not touch that dial.
Shh. Do you hear that rumbling? That's not thunder. That's the hurricane hole. Ray of sunshine. It's $50 all-inclusive barbecue. Happening Saturday, July 12th. 193 Vernon Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. From 5 to 10 p.m. 5 hours of straight category 5. Thunderous vibes. Food flowing, drinks flowing, vibes turn all the way up. Musically, shelling the place down. DJ Speedo Meeting.
Yeah, talk to me now.
And DJ Bashi. From old school classics to dancehall beat to soca madness to the tunes that make you wanna bust a wine till sunset. This is not a sit-down event. This is a bring your big energy kind of line. So rally the crew and enter the hole. The Hurricane Hole, Ray of Sunshine, July 12th, 193 Vernon Avenue. On Saturday, May 30th, Brooklyn, get ready for a night you will not forget. As Dr. Ghost, the Empire Dawn presents reggae legend Dwayne Stevenson live in concert.
Word from the wise, don't try to make life on your own.
Dwayne Stevenson.
From a little oxygen you breathe.
Sean B from St. Lucia.
Please don't let me go.
alongside Tilly Bang. Doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime 10 p.m. sharp. And it's going down inside the Solution House, 438 East 49th Street, between Church and Snyder. With music by DJ Bashi, Selector Akal, DJ Sci-Fi, DJ GQ, and Earthquake Sounds. Hosted by Jessica Movements. Brooklyn is gonna be one memorable night. Performing live, Dwayne Stevenson. Tickets cost $70 in advance, $100 at the door. Ticket info, contact Moses on 347-701-6046. That's 347-701-6046. Sponsored by 106.3 FM, New York City. Lock in the date, Saturday, May 30th. Reggae legend Dwayne Stevenson live. Doing it too bad.
All the wonders in the world, solutions only meant for me. So much history to be told and so much more for eyes to see. The colors feel the love, I can tell you all the way. Proud of it, proud of it, proud of it, proud of it. It don't matter where I voyage, it don't matter where I roam. Majestic becomes stand.
Don't knock the people on the road. Please, I begging them. I just try to feel them, make them feel me crying. I feel like crying, cry for you to see I crying, for them not to knock the people on the road.
Thank you. Don't cry there, mister. Okay. They will listen to you. They will listen to you.
Could you the speed limit, please? In town is 15 and out of town is 30 to 40 miles. But if you can go after the session and you can control it, well, it's not bad.
Bro. Hey, I think Dominica got one of the best music in the Caribbean. Hey, Chad, Bouyon music hard. That shit gas.
Let me tell you, I was there laughing away because I seen that's when you go to a restaurant where your ex-girlfriend working, brother, you're in trouble. And you're there for another date, you understand? So that's problem. You
Very
know,
much.
let me give a big shout out to my buddy Sherman Bell. I want to say good night to you, my brother. I know you tuned in, you're locked in, you're listening. I know you have your big event happening, Bloom Brunch happening Sunday, May 24th. The information to get your ticket is right scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and that's a Dominica vibe. You know, I mean, it's for everybody, but the guy having it, he's a Dominican, you know, so he's having the Bloom Brunch that's taking place on Sunday, May 24th from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Link him, you could log on and you could give him a call as well. You could always link up on Watch Radio and you could get the information there to link up with him to get your tickets. I think it's going to be an exciting vibe. You know, I was laughing at your video. You had a whole press conference about the speed limit, man. I was just cracking up. So I had to show some of those clips because I just pulled them and I love them.
You know, the funny thing, to be quite surprising, and person would find that strange. Like, you know, I would redo the videos, mimic them, but the only time I get to laugh at the actual video is when I would see the original video. When I am making those videos, honestly, it's like and I'm watching them, I don't laugh. To be honest with you, I don't laugh. I mean, other persons will laugh at it, but what I would laugh at is the original, honestly. Because after working on redoing a video, it's like the whole gist of it, it leaves. That's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Not really something we want to say good night to you. Welcome to Watch Radio. Once again, we want to see people that you tune to Watch Radio NYC. And of course, this is the Bouyon Talk Show. And of course, with me is Duraney. He's the guy from Dominica. He's the guy that everybody's haying about, and people say, "Oh, the guy that is sound like Diana." I say, "Boy, you know."
Yeah.
So people,
Diana and Sheba. But Diana does more content.
Yeah.
Sheba kind of ease up a bit. So I used to do a lot of the both, you know.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, Diana seems to be the number one.
What advice would you give to someone who's now trying to build this social media vibe, want to build a brand online? What are the things that they should be looking towards or looking to do, and how they improve themselves, you know?
Looking to do, I mean, everyone has their passion, everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses, of course. So I would advise persons to lean where they are best at. But the most important thing is patience. You see, patience, because in the beginning, you know, I started doing a lot of videos before I even reached to a point where I saw myself get that big you know, and then I just went up there and I just started going and people started following them kind of thing. But it took me a while. I didn't get there just like that. It took
Right.
me a while. It took me over a year of making videos for me to really finally find what really suits me, where I was best at. And then I found out that my hidden talent was, you know, mimicking them kind of videos and stuff. So with that and with patience, because at some point I felt like giving up, but I was mainly working towards my mental health. I would tell anybody that because of how things had changed for me. So I kept doing it anyway because it kept me occupied. You know, it kept my mind not wandering and being idle and stuff. So that's it for me. You know, but I would encourage everyone, and I've met certain persons and they would ask me, you know, I told them just try certain things, try different things and see where you are best at. And then you go there, you continue and you have patience and to take you a while, and eventually people will start to notice you.
You know, that's a good thing, patience, because sometimes we work on something so hard and so diligently, and we realize we are not getting the results that we're looking for. And we get motivated. So my question to you is, what motivates you to keep pushing forward? No matter what, you want to push forward. What motivates you?
To be honest, I would say that comes from within me. I would not say it's anybody else. I mean, yes, God is number one. He's the source of my life and strength and health and all of these things. But to say where I get my motivation from, I get it from myself. Because I don't like depending on people for anything. I mean, there will be sometimes I will need help and I would still get help. But mainly I rely on myself. I get up and I say, you have to do it, you have to do it, do it, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for nobody else, do it for you. So it comes from, my motivation comes from within. I always say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just push yourself.
Push yourself. You know, you get up and you do it. Sometimes even though you don't feel like doing it, you do it. You know, you do it.
It's got to be done.
You have to be done.
What is your dream collaboration? And if you had somebody you'd want to work with, who would that be?
I'm not sure yet, because you see, it's a learning process. And I've always been a reserved person. I've always been by myself. I've always been doing things by myself. But recently I started getting, you know, doing contracts with different companies and stuff. So it kind of is bringing me to a point where I have to expose myself more with other persons. So that is where I am gravitating towards, because I mean, I cannot just stay one place. I have to expand, and that is part of expanding. So it's a process. So I would say I wouldn't say yet, but I mean there are other influencers that I have spoken to, but it's all about time. You see, time is my thing. You see, there are some social influencers. That's what they do every day.
Yeah.
Or they may have a little business, but they have a lot of time to do their videos. But with me, with my normal job, it's a bit strenuous, and it's a bit, I have to find time and them kind of things. But I think eventually I will get there. I just have to be able to, as the time management, them kind of things. But yeah, there are some influencers that I may want to collab with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. For now, you're keeping that close to the heart. You're not mentioning any names now, and that's
No,
all right.
because no, I don't want to mention nobody's name.
That's
I think
okay.
they know themselves. I think they know
Okay.
themselves.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's all right. Angela, we want to say good night to you. Welcome again to, of course, the Bouyon Talk Show. You're a guy of the soil. You from Dominica. You've been there all your life. If there's one thing positive change that you could make in Dominica, what would that change be?
I didn't get that. Can you repeat that?
No, I'm saying that you've been in Dominica all your life. You worked there. You've been there. If there was one positive change you could create in Dominica, what would that change be?
Um, that sounds that sounds a little political.
Well, no. It doesn't have to be political.
I don't get that backlash. But anyway, let me see what I could come up with. But it would be an opportunity to create more employment for persons. I would say that to create more employment, to do certain things, like, let's just say a typical example, like, let's say in Dominica we have a lot of fruits. We still, let's say, like mango, right? Right now it's mango season.
Right.
And everywhere is mangoes, So I would find some sort of juice processing, some factory where I would, maybe if I had the money, maybe if Elon Musk was my godfather, I would build a few things. So that would be one of them, where I could create employment. Because I think employment is, without a job, what do you really have? And the thing is, now, not everyone is as academically inclined as others. Not everyone is going to be a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. Some persons, that's just not their strength. And they need to find certain things to do, and that would be, some simple little things like working in a factory just to put something on the table. So that would be my main focus. But we could go more into that.
Yeah, and let me tell you, and that's fine, because and that's not a governmental thing. That's something that people, the private citizen, can get involved in and create more job opportunities and so on. So I think that's a really great idea. Let's one of my favorite part of my show is where I ask those like fun questions. Ask you what's your favorite Dominican dish. And you have 0 seconds to answer, so you have to answer one time. What's your favorite Dominican dish?
It would be one pot. One pot. Like you mix up
like a bouillon, like a bouillon.
Yeah, something so. Yeah, something so. Yeah.
Because you on bouillon, right? Beach time or river time?
Come again?
Beach time or river time?
It would be river time. I don't know, beach, the water, seawater. It raises my inflammation, and I am hot in the evening, kind of a thing.
Carnival or Creole Day?
It will be Carnival.
Favorite social media app?
TikTok.
TikTok, wow. One thing you cannot leave home without?
Money.
I thought you'd say your phone, right?
I would rather leave my phone. Yeah, but money, I have no way good. Money is gonna be needed. Yeah.
Most embarrassing moment.
Most embarrassing moment. That was a bit recent. Well, it was within me. I was kind of shy. Where I had to go and use my wig in public to do an advertisement. So it was a bit. I felt it so, but maybe it wasn't as other person might think.
Oh, really? You were shy to use your wig?
Yeah, but I mean, that's
Did
my
we have that?
character. I
Did
had
we
to
have
support
that
it.
one? I kind of felt I have that one. Hold on,
Hi
let's see if I have
guys,
that
this
one.
is my uncle. What's your name? Say your name.
My name is Granny Philip John Baptist.
Okay. So what you have to tell the person when they die?
When the person die, you say, accept your son to pay. Accept or accept?
Accept my sympathy.
Oh, accept my son to pay.
Accept my sympathy.
Accept my son to pay.
Hi guys, this is my uncle.
that was
So you see,
funny,
most
huh?
of my stuff I do like within my space, my home space. So I don't
Yeah.
really see many people around at all. But you know, to go out there and do it, it's like, yeah, I gotta have some guts.
Ah, imagine someone with such a big social media presence could actually be a bit shy.
Yeah, I'm shy when it comes to doing those things, because I'm more of a reserved guy. I have my own friends. You know, I'm not to say like a people person. I stay home. I keep to myself basically. So coming to do those things, it's something that's not in practice, but it's I will eventually get there. You know.
Yeah, true, true. All good things must come to an end, but so must Bouyon. And let me tell you, but we're not ending just yet. Let me ask you, if your life was a movie, what would the title be?
Bittersweet. Yeah.
Bittersweet. Why bittersweet? You know how to answer that question, right?
Bittersweet, I mean, generally, life, even in social media, work, everywhere, bittersweet. I mean, life is just full of ups and downs.
Totally agree. And what is your favorite Dominican saying or phrase?
I muelas.
Ulas.
I'm
So you're
tired.
tired. You're tired.
I'm tired.
You
Yeah,
know,
because most of the times I'm tired. Yeah,
you
because
know,
I
people.
have to work, do these videos, all them kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people, I try to drop a little Creole there tonight there, and Durand tell me, bro, you need to stop with that Creole, okay?
I am learning little. I am learning as time goes by because growing up now, our parents them, and how their parents grew them up, was like they would speak the Creole when they're talking, when they're having their conversations with adults, so that they would not understand. So they grew up kind of not really learning the language very fluently. And I think that's something that was very bad. Because right now I wish I knew Creole fluently. Honestly, I love the language, but it's something that's not been practiced in my environment, at work, them kind of thing. So it's not something that I mean, you understand. So it's kind
I
of
got
sad, but yeah.
I got you, brother. So what's next for Durani? What's next?
Well, what's next would be my business. I do have some businesses that I want to do, but certain things are keeping me back in terms of. Well, I'll just be honest. My land title. To get a mortgage or whatever kind of a things, a loan, a big loan, you're gonna need some kind of collateral, and mainly here is land title. So it has been taking me a little while, but hopefully I will get it soon that I can put it in the bank and do my business. So expanding my plant business and some other businesses that I have in mind.
Great,
Because
my
my goal is to retire earlier and then venture into my kind of thing.
Okay, good. Good. I mean that's a good thing. What's your final message? Would you like to leave with our listeners and our viewers on the Bouyon Talk Show tonight?
My final message, encourage persons to follow me. That's one thing, and get yourself involved in the jury comedy and laughter, and with all of the stresses of life and stuff. Watch my videos, laugh, burst, scream, them kind of a thing. That's in one aspect. The other aspect would be to work hard, get up every day, and tell yourself that I can do it, and I am going to do it. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I want again to give my partner Sherman Bell. I want to give you a big shout out, brother. Don't forget, it's all about Bloom Brunch taking place on May 24th. and that's Sunday, May 24th, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. You could link him for tickets. The address is right here on the screen. You could just go to myfittickets.com and link him up, or you could call him at 917-566-2061 and link him up for your tickets. You know, buddy, once again, Duraney, I want to thank you so much for being on our Bouyon Talk Show. You know, it's always...
Thank you so much as well.
Yeah, man, it's truly, I truly appreciate you taking the time to kind of, you know, be with us, share your experiences with us, share your vision, kind of have a little laugh with you as well. And, you know, and we thank you for the impact that you're having. We ask you to continue the good work that you're doing. And just remember, you know, that you are loved by us St. Lucians.
That I know for sure.
And you know, if you're going to be in St. Lucia for Carnival, you need to check us out. Watch Radio will be underground in St. Lucia for Carnival. Of course,
nice.
Yeah, we're doing a big show called a breakfast fete called Sunblaze. We did one last year. We're doing it again this year. Absolutely vibe.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed myself. Carnival last year. It was really good.
Yeah. Do you intend to do it again this year? You're not sure?
No, I've already planned them because every year I want to travel somewhere else, but I will be back to St. Lucia eventually. But this year I want to try out the Jab in Grenada.
Okay.
So and see what it's like.
Oh, nice, nice, good.
Yeah, but I will be back in St. Lucia for sure.
Great. So people in St. Lucia, you all heard from the man himself. I hope one day he passed through New York, and then we could always catch up with him and check him when you pass through New York. Give us a shout out.
All right.
But once again, persons, I want to say thank you. We had so many people on tonight, but people are very quiet. I want to say once again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on our Bouyon Talk Show. Don't forget, next week I have a panel of 4 individuals. Every single person has been diagnosed with autism. So I have a panel of autistic persons on the 24th. That is on Sunday, the 24th. I have 4 persons on my panel, just having a general discussion about life and autism. That's from 7 p.m. on Sunday. 4 autistic persons will be on Bouyon. I think it's going to be an amazing show. So I ask you guys to join me next week at 7 p.m. where we'll be having a conversation, what it is like to speak with someone or to be in the head of someone who's going through or who's suffering or who is experiencing autism. I need to be careful with my wording because, we have to be careful about it because it's not an illness, So once again, I want to thank...
we do face these things down here too. It's quite a challenge, but
yeah.
Thank you once again. I want to say thank you, everybody. We want to say good night, goodbye. See you guys next week. Take care. Bye.
All right.